Shirakawa Runa is the prettiest girl in the class. Meanwhile, our protagonist, Kashima Ryuto, is an average introverted loser who has never felt a woman's touch. He thinks that he and Runa live in completely different worlds, and if he tries to get close to her, he might turn into ashes. This is why he has decided to bury his feelings for her deep in his heart. In the next scene, Ryuto is staring at Runa, talking to her girls like a weirdo, when he overhears a conversation among some class fellows. They are discussing how Runa changes boyfriends every 2 or 3 months, and one guy isn't enough to satisfy her. One guy comments that she must be screwing like a rabbit. Ryuto has been hearing rumors like this for a year, but he doesn't care since he has no chance with Runa in the first place. The only people he talks to are his nerd friends, Ichi and Nishi. He's lost in his thoughts when Runa suddenly appears before him, asking for a pen. She bends down to fill out a form after getting the pen, and Ryuto catches sight of her cleavage. He gets flustered, thinking how close she is to him. This is his first ever interaction with the girl, so it's a big deal for him. Runa thanks him with a warm smile and gives him his pen back, not knowing she has made the boy fall head over heels for her. During lunch, Ryuto's incel friends talk about a gaming streamer's videos and how they screwed their exams because of gaming. To console them, Ryuto tells them that he didn't do great on his exams either, but his friends don't believe him and force him into betting that whoever gets the best grades will do whatever the one with the worst grades says. The one with the best grades obviously turns out to be Ryuto. His fat-ass friend challenges him to confess to his crush, so he can know how it feels to be at rock bottom after getting pathetically rejected. Poor Ryuto has to oblige because his friends are too important to him, and he cannot lose them. Besides, he believes it is better to get rejected once and for all instead of dragging along his feelings for Runa. He puts a letter in her locker, asking her to meet him. He doesn't expect her to show up, but she does. Ryuto is extremely awkward, so she tells him to loosen up since they're from the same class. She asks him what he wants to talk about, but the cat has got his tongue. He is so flustered that he can barely look at her, but he finally summons some balls after a while and confesses to her. Runa doesn't seem too surprised and asks what he likes about her, to which he replies that she's cute. He is expecting her to reject him harshly, but the unthinkable happens, and she says yes, suggesting for them to go out. Ryuto thinks he is dreaming, but he never wants to wake up. He and Runa walk home together, and he wonders why she has agreed to date him. He musters up some courage and directly asks her why, because she didn't even know about his existence some minutes ago. She replies that it's fine because they can get to know each other from now on. Also, they might start to like each other for real, so it's worth a chance. Although she has never been able to date long enough to like someone because her boyfriends keep dumping her. They get off the train, and Runa asks him to walk her home. After dropping her off, Ryuto is about to leave when Runa invites him inside, saying that her parents and grandma are not home. Ryuto thinks he is hallucinating but gets inside, because who can say no to such an inviting offer? Runa takes him straight to her super girly Barbie-esque room and leaves him there to get tea. His loser self cannot believe that he's standing in a girl's room and takes in the musk of her room like a pervert. He notices a drawer slightly open, and his inner voices yell at him to peek at her undergarments. He tries to fight the voices, but eventually, his creepy side wins, and he starts opening the drawer. Thankfully, Runa comes back right then, which makes him hit his foot in panic. She notices the open drawer and pulls out a shirt, showing it to him. Ryuto sighs, finding out that it isn't lingerie. She then tells him to sit with her on the bed and have tea. Ryuto loses his mind at the suggestion, because sitting with the prettiest girl in the class on her bed isn't something he has imagined even in his wildest wet dreams. Runa sees him hesitating and assumes that he wants to sleep with her right off the bat. She starts unbuttoning her shirt, and Ryuto goes crazy, thinking he might finally say goodbye to his dark life as a virgin loser. However, he suddenly gains some sense of morality and stops her. She is surprised by his reaction because, to her, it's kind of a duty to do that, as this is all that boys want. Ryuto realizes that her ex-boyfriends were trash people who were only after her body. Although he wants to graduate from virginhood badly, he doesn't want to be like her exes, so he tells her to hold it off until the timing is right. In the evening, Runa walks him to the end of the street, and Ryuto suddenly regrets not doing it. She comments that he is really sincere, and she has never met any boy like him. Ryuto assures her she doesn't have to sleep with him out of duty. He only wants her to do it when she really wants it. Runa smiles at this, saying they might actually like each other when that time comes, not knowing that Ryuto already likes her. She says goodbye to him with a heartwarming smile, feeling excited for what's to come. Back at his home, Ryuto rolls in his bed and yells at himself for not doing it when he had the chance. The next day, Ryuto is on his way to school when he gets a text from Runa informing him that she overslept. He is hesitant to respond at first, but then tells her to ride to the station and hurry over. Runa makes it in the middle of the first class and gives Ryuto a wink after sitting down, which nearly gives him a heart attack. During the lunch break, Ryudo shares what happened the previous day with his friends. His friends scold him for passing up the golden chance of graduating to manhood. They state that he's just a play toy for a freaky girl like Runa, who will toss him aside as soon as she's bored, so he shouldn't expect too much from the relationship. Ryudo gets disheartened hearing that, believing whatever his loser virgin friends say. He returns to the class, and Runa goes up to him, telling him about her dream when he notices her friend giving him a death glare. From then on, whenever Runa interacts with him in public, he earns stares from everyone around, especially from her hardcore Gyaru friend, Nicole. Ryudo confronts Runa about this, and she reveals that she's only told Nicole about their relationship. Ryudo suggests that it's best if they keep the relationship a secret and don't interact at school. He accidentally blurts out that they can hang out during the weekend. Runa assumes that he's asking her on a date and says yes immediately. At his home, Ryudo sits on his bed searching for date ideas in a panic when he gets a video call from Runa. She looks really cute in her casual clothes and asks Ryudo where they will go for the date. Ryudo suggests going to the movies, but anything is fine as long as Runa enjoys it. He just wants to do what she likes. Runa is a little surprised at this proposition because no boy has said this to her before. She then says goodbye to him, saying that they'll go where she wants to. Ryudo lets his creepy side take over for a second and fantasizes about her taking him to a hotel to do R-rated things. However, the opposite happens, and she takes him shopping. Ryudo runs behind her like a maid all the time and carries her stuff. They finally sit down for drinks after a while, and Runa comments that he doesn't look like he enjoyed the date because he wasn't paying attention to the clothes she bought at all. Ryudo counters that he was looking at her instead of the clothes. Just seeing her have fun is enough to delight him. Runa blushes a little at that, which teleports Ryuto to Cloud 9. However, their conversation gets interrupted by Nicole's call, and Ryuto comes crashing down to the ground again. He's suddenly conscious of the state of their relationship and thinks that Runa will never like him back. The next day, Ryuto sends a good morning text to Runa, but she doesn't even read it. Ryuto recalls her saying that she has plans on Sunday, but what kind of plan would keep her occupied for so long that she can't even read a text? He assumes the worst, that she's out here cheating on him, and starts playing a video game, saying that his favorite streamer, Ken, would never betray him, and chanting his name like a classic incel. On Monday, he spots Runa talking to some guys, and his friends console him, saying that this is the life for nerds like them. She had replied to his text late at night, so he's heard about that. When he reaches home, he gets a text from Runa asking for a meetup, and he assumes she's calling him to break up with him. When he reaches the place, he's fully expecting her to break up, but instead, she gifts Ryuto a limited edition phone case matching her own. She explains that she and Nicole had stood in line all day to buy those, and her phone battery had run out, which is why she couldn't reply to him on time. Ryuto is frozen in place at first, and then expresses his concern about getting dumped. But seeing Runa's gift has put his mind at ease, and he's so happy he could cry. On the way back, he reveals to her that he had gotten close to a girl in middle school and confessed to her, thinking she liked him too, but she had friend-zoned him. Since then, he has been bad with girls. Runa responds that he should be happy about getting rejected in middle school because he can be with her now. She reveals that her parents started dating in middle school, which made her crave love like that. Suddenly, a sports car passes by, and Ryuto gets excited seeing it. He ends up blabbering his overly exclusive nerd knowledge about sports cars in front of Runa. But instead of getting creeped out, she's impressed by his knowledge. She compares her life to a fast sports car, as she has experienced grown stuff way earlier than she should have, even though she's still a kid inside. And none of it works out because her boyfriends keep breaking up with her. Even her mom and dad had gotten a divorce. Ryuto reassures her that her life is full of fun, so she should cherish it, using some weird sports car analogy. That cheers up Runa, and she initiates a race with Ryuto to the station. At night, Runa tells her friend Nicole that everything is going fine with Ryuto, but Nicole, like every bitter and miserable best friend, tells Runa to stay cautious of him just in case. The next day, the teacher introduces a new student in the class, and it is none other than Kurose Maria, the girl who rejected Ryuto in middle school. Maria introduces herself to the class, and everyone starts fawning over her. Ryuto decides not to interact with her, but fate has different ideas. The teacher makes her sit beside him. She recognizes him instantly and greets him. Ryuto also greets back awkwardly, but decides to stay away from her, so people don't learn about their history. He leaves the class, only to get startled by Nicole. She takes him to a restaurant to talk about something. Ryuto sits timidly like a girl who just got her period, receiving a stink eye from Nicole. Nicole finishes her fries and informs him that next Sunday is Runa's birthday. She also scolds him for not knowing it beforehand. He asks her about what Runa likes because he wants to give her a special gift. Nicole is hesitant at first, but then agrees to help him. While they talk, someone nearby snaps a picture of them. The next morning, Ryuto meets Runa at the station. She shows him a group chat where his and Nicole's picture was shared. Not wanting to create a misunderstanding that could turn into 3-episode-long useless drama, he reveals that they met yesterday to talk about her birthday. He asks her if she'll be free to spend her birthday with him, and she replies, yes. After she leaves, Ryuto suspects that she seemed jealous seeing that picture of Nicole and him. On her birthday, Ryuto takes Runa to Harajuku District, just like Nicole had suggested. He then takes her to a bubble tea shop because Nicole had said it was her favorite drink. She really enjoys the tea, which makes Ryuto happy. She offers to pay for her drink, but being a Chad, he doesn't let her do it. He takes out a chart that has information about all the bubble tea shops around. He had drunk countless bubble teas last week to choose good ones for Runa. He starts blabbering his gross virgin-like talk again, but this time, it's about bubble tea. Runa's head spins hearing that, and she asks if he really likes it that much. Ryuto says that he is doing all that for her since she likes it. Runa gets flustered at that because no one has ever done that for her. They try all the shops nearby and fill in the chart. Runa offers him a sip from her own cup, and Ryuto freaks out over touching the same straw that was on Runa's lips just now, like a 9-year-old. She winks at him, saying they had an indirect kiss, which makes him go beet red. After the date is over, Ryuto takes out his wallet to buy her a gift, but he doesn't have enough money. Runa takes the bubble tea chart from him instead, saying he worked hard on this, so she will keep it as a memento. Ryuto thinks he is falling for her all over again. The next day, Ryuto keeps hearing nasty rumors about Runa from people. Even Nicole notices it and discusses it with him. During the class, he has to share his textbook with Maria because she forgets it at home. She sits close to him and brings up the middle school incident again. She says she was naive back then, and now she understands that Ryuto is a good guy. Not wanting to fall into a trap and get embarrassed again, he tells her that he has a girlfriend immediately, but doesn't reveal who she is. If people knew, they would make fun of Runa for dating a boring loser like him. After the class, he spots a guy confessing to Runa, but she rejects him right away, saying she already has a boyfriend. The guy inquires who that is, but Runa doesn't reveal it, saying her boyfriend wants it to keep a secret. The guy scoffs in response, presuming he must be a total loser if he doesn't want people to know. Runa defends Ryuto in front of him, stating that he is very cool to her, and she respects his wishes. Ryuto is relieved to know that Runa is not embarrassed about having him as her boyfriend. Back in the class, Maria suddenly tells him that her friend, who is an ex-boyfriend of Runa, has told her that she is a really selfish person who plays with boys and always makes them pay for dates. Ryuto gets pissed hearing that and defends her in front of Maria, saying that she is very considerate towards her boyfriend. Maria, acting like a bitter second lead of dramas, inquires who is the boyfriend she is so nice with. In the heat of the moment, he ends up blurting that he is the one who is dating Runa right now. Everyone in the class is surprised at the shocking reveal. Runa confirms that Ryuto's statement is true. Maria seems to be going through 5 stages of grief and runs out of the class. Ryuto follows her and stops her at the staircase, asking her why she spread those wrong rumors about Runa. Maria discloses that she's doing it because she wants to be number 1. And here comes the plot twist of the century. Maria and Runa are revealed to be twin sisters. They don't look similar because they are fraternal twins, and Maria took her mother's surname after their parents split up. Her mother remarried and got divorced again recently, so she moved back here to her grandfather. She tells Ryuto that Runa has always been a bright and lovable girl since she was a kid. Meanwhile, she was an introverted and shy girl who had trouble expressing her feelings. She was the one who had to move away, change her name, and suffer the consequences of their parents' divorce. Everything has been unfair to her, so she decided to change herself and become like Runa. But that doesn't seem to work either because everyone still loves Runa more. Ryuto finally speaks up and tells her that what she did was wrong. However, he still understands her because he is also an introverted loser who cannot express himself, yet he thinks about others' opinions of himself. Even so, changing themselves to be like Runa is never gonna work. He reassures her that she will find someone who will love her for who she is. Suddenly, her foot loses balance and she's about to trip down the stairs, but Ryuto catches her. This gets her flustered and she tells him to leave. On the way back to the class, Nicole praises him and pats him on the back for the first time ever. Ryuto feels like he has got the approval of his grumpy mother-in-law. After school is over, Ryuto tells Runa that the reason he revealed their secret is because he couldn't take those dirty rumors about her anymore. Runa is so surprised that she starts tearing up. Ryuto comforts her by saying that he likes her current version, and he can tell that she has never been a bad person. Runa feels at ease to hear that, and also apologizes to him for not telling him about her sister. She still doesn't know why she transferred back, though. Meanwhile, Maria is still sitting on those stairs, worrying that she might fall for Ryuto. If that happens, she'll be number 2 again. The next day, Ryuto expects people to be all over him and talk about his relationship with Runa, but nothing happens. Everything is so ordinary that it's almost disappointing. After school, Runa asks him about his interests since he has tried getting into stuff she likes for her. Ryuto is totally embarrassed to tell her about his gaming addiction at first, but then his blabbering mode is on before he knows it, and he ends up blurting everything about his favorite streamer, Ken. As always, Runa's mind spins at his talk. Ryuto sees her blank face and realizes what he has done. He suddenly wishes he was asleep on a railway track. Getting out of the daze, Runa expresses that she wants to watch the gaming streams too. Poor girl doesn't even know what a gaming stream is. The consequences of touching too much grass. He puts on a Ken stream and shows it to her. Runa enjoys it a lot and gets close to him while watching. Ryuto, aware of their proximity, wants to kiss her right then. He shares his desire with his crazy friends the next day, but their single and virgin asses are so jealous of him that they almost get petrified. They want to drop him and exclude him from their little loser club. But for the sake of friendship, they decide to guide him on the path to manhood. They say that kissing isn't going to work out suddenly, so Ryuto gets the idea of trying to hold hands first. They plan a boating date, and according to the plan, Ryuto is supposed to catch her hand when she trips while getting on the boat. The teacher calls out his name suddenly, telling him to answer the question. He doesn't know the answer, so Maria helps him. She says she doesn't want him to hate her, and he assures her that he doesn't. On the day of the date, Runa gives Ryuto the bento she made for him lovingly. He finds it very tasty and eats it happily, but he keeps thinking about his hand-holding plan with a serious face, which makes Runa suspicious. However, his plan fails drastically, and he doesn't get the chance to do that. After the ride, Ryuto is sulking over being unable to touch her. Runa notices the look on his face and assumes that he wants to break up. He yells that he has no intention of doing that and decides to man up finally, taking her to another boat ride. This time, he holds his hand out like a Disney prince, and she takes it. During the ride, she reveals that she's been thinking about physical contact with him a lot recently. It's not only boys who are freaky. She suddenly gets up from her seat and connects her lips to his. She has done what Ryuto couldn't have initiated in a million years. After getting off the boat, they keep holding hands. Runa demands him to refer to her by her first name instead of being so formal. She will wait till he gets the hang of it, though. She says that holding hands, kissing, and all that PG-13 stuff feels so embarrassing just because they didn't cross the bridge right off the bat. But she likes it because it makes her fall for him. Meanwhile, Maria is at her home, contemplating on her feelings for Ryuto. She decides that becoming like Runa and making the couple break up is the way to go after all. Runa isn't good at English, so Ryuto tutors her. She has a paper where sentences are written in English language and is unable to comprehend them, being a typical Japanese girl, so he teaches her how to read and tutors her. While going home, he learns from her that it's their 1-month dating anniversary, and she wants to enjoy it at the beach. He agrees to come with her while imagining her enticing body. The next day, Runa secures decent marks in the exam, so she thanks Ryuto for helping her study. Being a nerd, Ryuto has double the marks as her, so Runa calls him a god among gods. Even his friends manage to improve their grades. Seeing how happy they are, Maria comes to him asking if he can help her study English. He does not want to, but agrees, and on Maria's request, they exchange their contact. While waiting for Runa at the station for the beach trip, Maria messages Ryuto, asking when he has time to tutor him, but Runa arrives right then, so he does not reply. They reach the beach, and Runa shows up in a bikini, blessing Ryuto with her curvy and sultry body. Ryuto cannot believe that he has that baddie as his girlfriend. While sunbathing, she asks him to rub sunscreen on her back, even allowing him to do it under the swimsuit. He starts doing mathematical calculations in his mind while doing it so his thoughts do not stray into the forbidden territory. It is his first time touching a girl's skin, and when done, he shows gratitude because she gave him a chance to touch her heavenly body. They play in the water for a while and then take a break to eat something. Ryuto compliments Runa's swimsuit, and she tells him that she has chosen it after trying about 30 suits. Nicole even did matching nails for her. At night, they have to stay at a hotel because a typhoon has stopped all trains. Because of the shortage of money, they end up renting one room only. The room is well furnished, and on Ryuto's request, Runa goes to take a bath first. After she leaves, Ryuto loses his mind, thinking of the things that could happen between them tonight. He starts doing sit-ups to distract himself, and Runa returns right then. She sees him exercising and approaches him to feel his abs, but he flinches and leaves for the bath. After the bath, they see on the news that the weather will be clear by the next morning. He looks at Runa's bare face and thinks that she resembles Maria. Runa feels embarrassed appearing in front of him without makeup, but Ryuto reassures her that she looks younger and cuter like this. When it's time to sleep, they lie on the 2 futons available in the room. She asks him if he wants to make love tonight because she feels bad for putting him on hold for so long. He blushes hard and tells her that he does not want her to do something she does not want to. She reveals that she likes him, so she's fine with doing it. She has been in relationships with others but never wanted to be intimate with them, but back on the boat, she really felt like kissing him. She wants her feelings for him to grow more, and while making love, she wants to go all out with him. This way, it will make her body and mind feel good. He understands the reason and agrees to just sleep for today. She does not get why he is so nice to him, and he tells her that he's doing this because he likes her. Feeling all gushy inside, she requests him to hug her, and they embrace each other tightly. They decide that they'll spend their second-month anniversary like this too, and then they go to sleep while holding hands. Meanwhile, Maria is alone at her place, representing all of us single losers and being bitter that she's not in Runa's place. Runa reaches her home and Ryuto bids her farewell. He is sleepy because he was staring at Runa's milkers like a creep all night. On the way, he runs into Nicole, who is doing a shift at a restaurant, and she brings him inside. She asks how things are going between him and Runa and learns that everything is well. Nicole tells him how Runa's ex-boyfriends left her because she was clingy and a burden to them. They either cheated on her or dumped her before 2 months were up, and this time too, she might be worried even if she trusts him. Nicole makes him promise that he will never hurt Runa or worry her. Ryuto is determined to make Runa the happiest girl in the world. On the way home, he receives a call from Maria. He hears Runa's voice on the phone, who tells him that she is at her mom's place and her battery died. So, that's why she's calling him from Maria's phone. Out of nowhere, she asks him to meet her at school to talk about something. He is hesitant at first, but being a considerate boyfriend, he agrees to go. He reaches the storage room on her demand and is shocked to hear her requesting him to sleep with her right then and there. He does not get how her mind has changed in just one day. In the next scene, the original Runa is shown to be talking to her friend on the phone and telling her that Ryuto is her last man. She unexpectedly hugs him, making Ryuto recall when Runa hugged him back in the hotel. It puts him in doubt that she is not Runa and pulls back. On observing her closely, he wonders if she is Maria and if it was her on the phone call. Maria stands anxiously and spills the beans that she does not resemble her sister, but their voices are alike, especially on the phone. He inquires about the reason for deceiving him, and she replies that she wants to spend a night with him. She is fine with not being his girlfriend, but begs that, in return, she wants to do it for the first time with him and won't tell anyone about it, even not to Runa. He rejects her outright because he wants to be honest with Runa, not betray her feelings. Doing it with Maria won't be fair to her either. They notice there is someone outside and it's a security guard patrolling the school. He sees the door open and enters but finds no one there. Maria and Ryuto have jumped out of the room through the window and are outside sitting on a bench. He takes all this as revenge against Runa, and that's why Maria called him there, but she denies the reason and confesses to him that she has feelings for him and wants to do it with him. He is an honest and sincere person and did not do it back there because he wanted to protect her. She knows she does not come first for him, but she could not hold her feelings anymore. She now understands how he felt back when he proposed to her and got rejected, so she apologizes to him while crying. He wants to comfort her, but pulls back thinking that it would hurt her more, but she herself comes close to him, putting her head on his shoulders. She wants him to stay like this for a minute, so he lets her. Little does he know, this situation would bring a disaster to his love life. The next morning, he worries Maria has not contacted him since that time, but shakes off his thoughts about her and decides to tell Runa that the person who rejected him in middle school was Maria. But he sees everyone gossiping about him and learns from his friends that a photo of him together with Maria is circulating in school. He talks about it with Maria in a room and she denies the allegations, saying she has not spread the image and has self-respect after being rejected. While coming out of the room, she wonders if she would not have rejected him. Back then it would be her by his side, but there's no point in worrying now. He opens the door and finds Runa standing outside and listening to their conversation that it was Maria who rejected him the first time. It shocks and hurts her, and she runs away. Nicole also slaps him right in the face and leaves. After that, he starts to contemplate how he should have reacted back then to prevent Runa from crying and how things turned out to be like this. Their dull summer vacation starts with Ryuto taking his dull classes. He keeps on texting Runa, but she doesn't read his texts. He considers himself the lowest of all because he had gone to her home but could not muster up the courage to even ring the bell and dug himself in studies just to pretend nothing happened. It's the last day of his cram school and his loser virgin friends are at the beach where they see Runa with some other man and hurriedly inform Ryuto about it. He runs out of his class thinking how pathetic he is. Runa has always put his feelings first, but he is running away from all. He reaches the beach and finds Runa and Nicole with that man in a hut. The man's sight falls on Ryuto outside of the hut and he comes up to him. Ryuto learns the surprising truth that he is Runa's uncle, Mao, and knows Ryudo is Runa's boyfriend. Nicole is furious over him for showing up there after all the commotion, but she leaves the place due to some job work. Mao also does not interrupt Runa and Ryuto sitting across the table. Ryuto sincerely apologizes to Runa and exposes the truth about how Maria was the person who rejected him and how Maria confessed to him but got rejected, and someone took a picture of them together. After hearing all of this, Runa is calm and apologizes to him because she knows he is not like other guys. She understands how Maria fell for him, and if Maria confessed her feelings, she must really mean it. Runa is, in fact, glad he was there for Maria when she was crying. Their conversation further continues, clearing a misunderstanding about Runa being furious over him and not calling him in the summer. Her mobile stopped working since it fell on the ground, and she dropped it off in the shop for repairs the other day. She has been pleased since they started dating and did not want to get hurt by learning that he cheated on her, so she avoided him altogether. She finally mustered up her courage to face reality and took her mobile to repair, but he appeared in front of her out of nowhere. Mao takes him and Runa to his home, and Runa's grandmother warmly welcomes them. She asks him if he wants to spend his summer vacation with her. He shows his willingness. Who would want to spend their vacations lonely, sticking at the house corner anyway? But it is more than just spending summer together. She wants him to stay there with her. They will get a part-time job and will enjoy time at the beach. Seeing how cute she is, he accepts it without any hesitation. He thinks he is in heaven, being able to spend the summer under the same roof as her. After waking up, they help with the customers and do chores at Runa's uncle's hut. Ryudo sits down to take a break and starts studying. They look like they came straight out of a goofy dating show at the beach. They're making a hopeless attempt at flirting with her. Ryudo panics, thinking about what to do because those guys are clearly more than he can handle. However, the other guys turn around and leave in shame. Ryudo gets back to studying, and Runa comments that he will get into a good college, considering he studies so hard. In contrast to them, Runa is clueless about her future, but at least she has achieved her high school goal, which was to develop mutual feelings with someone she thinks she can stay with forever. Ryudo gets flustered hearing about the goal, knowing it is about him. She makes up a lousy excuse and says that she cannot go. The grandma brings this up in front of Runa and Ryudo, making Runa wonder if Maria is intentionally avoiding them. While doing dishes, Runa shares that she hadn't seen Maria for 2 years before she transferred to their school because they never got along. She knows that Maria hates the fact that they're sisters, but she still likes her. She asks Ryudo if it will be possible for them to get along at this point, and Ryudo responds that it might be too soon for Maria. Runa requests him to become Maria's friend with her. While she goes through her phone, Ryuto gawks at her balloons like a weirdo. Runa pulls him out of his dark thoughts, asking him to do a TikTok trend. They suggest spending the money on giving Runa a surprise at tonight's festival. He goes through the festival stalls, thinking of a surprise for her, when he reminds him that he hadn't tried bubble tea before meeting her either. He has experienced so many of his firsts with her. Runa suddenly feels sad hearing and starts complaining about all of this not being her first time. In the classroom, Runa is busy talking with her friends when she catches sight of Maria, who is by herself reading a book. Runa goes to her, but Maria leaves the class abruptly, without letting Runa initiate any conversation. At the same time, Ryuto enters the classroom and sees those sisters and recalls the statement of Runa requesting him to be friends with Maria. At lunchtime, Ryuto's friends are rambling about how they spend their vacations alone, unlike a certain guy who wakes up to the sight of his girlfriend every day. Ryuto brings about the idea of playing survival games with Runa and the other girls, as he wants to try something new with Runa. The long-awaited day arrives, and Runa and the other girls show up in Gyaru style, which makes the boys' hearts flutter. While the girls are enjoying taking pictures, Ryuto shows his concerns to Runa that she is exposing her chest too much, to which Nicole explains that in Gyaru, it's important to show off skin. Akari pinpoints Nishina and tells him that they were in the same class in middle school and asks him the class he is in now, but he does not reply because he's almost fainting after being called by a gorgeous girl. Ryuto and Runa are also having a lovely conversation. She wants him to watch her get his heart with a critical hit, not knowing she has already shot through his heart. The game starts with 2 3-member teams, and Ryuto and Runa are in one team. Nishina is the first to get knocked out in the game. The game proceeds and Ryuto protects Runa, getting hit himself. Runa and Nicole are the remaining opponents in the game, and it ends with Team Runa winning. After the game, Runa apologizes to Ryuto because he got shot while covering her, and Ryuto replies that it's not a big deal. Nicole clips her nails because it would be easier for her to trigger the gun while shooting. Their next game starts with Nicole shooting everyone, knocking them out, and winning the game. They change to their casual clothes. They see Runa is worried because she is unable to find the earring she had put in a case while changing. She has one from the pair and wears it on one side. It is so important to her that she does not wear it in school with the fear that it might be confiscated. She eventually finds it. It might have fallen out of the case deep in the bag. It makes Ryuto wonder how he could not notice Runa's earring, even if he's not into fashion. Also, what could be the reason for her wearing it on just one side? They stop by the restaurant after getting exhausted. Akari expresses that it was fun in a survival game, and it would be more entertaining if they tried out different guns. It triggers Ichi's otaku mode, and he starts rambling to the girls about guns and games. Ryuto worries that Ichi has put the girls into listening to what they are not aware of, but when he ends his rambling, Akari responds to him. The boys are amazed that she kept up with Ichi's nonsense. Nicole informs those guys that Akari is also pretty much an otaku, the guys who have been single all their lives do not know how girls spend their time and who they simp for. So, there is a need for something to trigger those girls. And in this case, Ichi asks Akari what type of okatu they are. Now, it's time for Akari to ramble, and she starts fangirling about the Vanilla Voice, a music band, which the guys are totally unfamiliar with. Similarly, Nicole, who is an otaku for nails, rambles about the patterns and designs of nails. The boys look like their souls have been drained out by the time the girls are finished. Runa feels left out when it comes to okatu conversations. So to console her, Nicole says she also has someone she is into. She is referring to Ryuta, which makes both Ryuta and Runa embarrassed. As the co-president of the single community, Nicole expresses that she was jealous of them all day. It gives the hint to Nishina that she is single, and he asks about it from Ryuta. Nicole overhears them and tells him she had a boyfriend much cooler than others, and she still cannot get over him. He had a cool attitude, always had earphones in, and when asked what he was listening to, he replied, Buddhist sutras. Nishina makes fun of Nicole's ex that he gives vibes of peak teenage angst. After lunch, everyone goes on their way, except Runa and Ryuta, who decide to spend the day on a date. They go to an amusement park and sit on the Ferris wheel. He wants to initiate a kiss, but she starts talking about a shoujo manga and has him kiss her accordingly. Their fun in the park ends with a romantic and classical Ferris wheel kiss. 3 months have already passed since they started dating, and this time she does not want to spend the anniversary. Instead, she wants to enjoy each day with him as a special one. He also wants to be a man who is worthy of her, and to achieve it, the best thing he can do is study hard. When a boy works hard, it's a sign he does it for his woman. When he is in cram class, he hears Maria talking with other girls, and to prevent crossing with her, he tries to sneak out of the class. When he is about to be found out, a senior, Shugo covers him somehow and takes him to a restaurant. Ryuto tells Shugo all about his story with Maria and Runa and the reason he was avoiding Maria in class. Shugo advises him to focus on his studies as failing entrance exams and studying all over again is not fun. There is going to be a sport and a cultural festival. The teachers require students for the preparations. They ask for the participants in class, but most of the students do not want to indulge in those activities. Maria raises her hand to participate. Eventually, Runa also raises her hand, symbolizing the launch of the friendship plan. Following Runa, Akari, Ryuto, and Ijichi also raise their hands. Nicole declines because she has work to do. Their committees and introduce themselves. Runa and Ryuto, along with Maria, join the pamphlet committee and sit across the table. Ryuto can feel the pressure in the environment and take it as a friendship project. They run through the old pamphlets to get a general idea of what to do at festivals. Runa asks Maria about her hobbies and other things she likes and learns. Maria likes watching videos. Runa likes cute videos and talks about them. Maria does not understand a word and wonders what language she is talking in. So, in order to proceed further, Ryuto asks Maria about the types of videos she likes. She tells him she likes games, LPS, and other stuff. It is kind of boyish stuff and is interesting to Ryuto, who gets in conversation with her, but when he comes into sense, he hesitatingly looks at Runa, who wonders what kind of language they are talking in. In the library, when Ryuto is worrying about how to make those girls get along, he meets Shugo. They go to a restaurant and talk about it. Shugo understands the situation very well because he has fooled around enough in high school. He was interested in club activities and had a girl who used to say he was cool and also advised him to change his hairstyle. When he changed it, he became popular among girls, but then he dumped her. Ryuto and others have a second pamphlet meeting. Runa presents her general idea that it should be more glamorous and sparkly, whereas Maria suggests going for a minimalist touch. There is a rift between those girls, and they make Ryuto a referee. He has ideas close to Maria's, but keeping Runa's feelings in consideration, he says he has no idea yet. Later, he goes to the teacher and informs them about splitting ideas of his committee, but she wants the committee to come up with an idea and arrange printing as soon as possible after the sports festival. While going home, he coincidentally meets Maria at the station. He starts a conversation about random stuff, and the topic of sisters is brought up. Maria did say hateful things, but deep down in her heart, she thought Runa would forgive her. She did not come to school to harass her sister. Instead, Instead, she thought Runa would be glad to see her and introduce Maria as her sister to her fellows, but she looked quite confused. Now, after all that happened, she feels like coming back to normal self. Now Ryuta feels at ease and the discomfort around her has disappeared. On the way, he stumbles and falls on the ground with books falling out of his bag. Seeing a book with his cram school's name, she reveals that she already knows about him going to this school. Ryuto is both surprised and embarrassed at that. The most anticipated sports festival arrives where one soulmate takes part in games, while another is there to cheer him up. Runa takes part in a race which she wins when Ryuto cheers for her. Similarly, she wins the scavenger race along with Ryuto. Maria is on the cheer team. She has persuaded her mother to take time off and come watch her cheerleading. However, on the way to the cheerleading spot, she sees her mother talking to Runa and patting her head. Seeing this, she runs off without cheerleading. The mother informs Runa about Maria being on the cheering team and how she has come here to hype her daughters. Runa and Ryuto split up to search for Maria, who is on the roof. Ryuto reaches there first and tells Maria that her mother skipped her work and came to root for her. She shares that she is jealous of Runa after seeing her with her mother and does not want everyone to know they are sisters after she has done horrible things to her sister. He tries to interrupt her, but she tells him to go as she knows he does not care about him. But it's not the case. He does care about her as a classmate and Runa's sister. Out of nowhere, she confesses to him again and says that his caring for her makes her like him even more. In that moment, what can be more dramatic than a girlfriend listening to their conversation? That's exactly what happens. Runa seems to eavesdrop on them and leaves when they are done. On the day of the selection of the pamphlet, there are 2 samples presented by a professional designer who designed them according to the given ideas. One is colorful, representing high school life, whereas the other one is minimalist and is a better choice for boys and parents. The decision comes to Ryuto again as a spokesperson, and he chooses the sample presenting Maria's idea. On the way back, Ryuto apologizes to Runa for selecting another sample, but she likes that he expressed his honest opinion instead of lying. She says that she has recently noticed that he and Maria are compatible with each other. They have almost the same taste and have common likes, which makes her think that he might enjoy dating Maria. She tells him that she knows he was on the roof with Maria on sports day and wouldn't leave her there alone because of his kind nature. She doesn't think it's a great idea to continue their dating. After expressing her feelings, she runs off and he is there, left there, frozen in his place. Maria is at home thinking Ryuto should have lied and selected Runa's sample. A flashback of childhood makes her realize that Runa has always been thoughtful and kind whenever it comes to her. Maria wants her to be happy with Ryuko, although she still has feelings for him. The teacher calls Ryuto to inform him that their work for the pamphlet committee is finished. He wants to tell both sisters that the sample he chose was finally selected. When going through the hallway, he sees Runa talking politely with someone on mobile and then running off somewhere. He is worried about whom she might be talking to. He intends to ask Nicole about the person Runa is talking to, but he receives lectures from her in return. On the way home, he encounters Akari, who takes him to a restaurant and enlightens him that Runa might have sugar daddy, and this news makes Ryuto's jaw drop. Akari has come to this conclusion because when she was shopping, she saw Runa with an old man, and she also had a fancy branded bag. She thought Runa might do something harmful to herself, so she informed Ryuto about it. He thanks her for her concern. He takes it as his responsibility to unveil the truth and tells Shugo about it. He brings him to the school on Cultural Festival Day. Shugo has to uncover the identity of the sugar daddy because Ryuto has no guts to ask Runa about the man she met the other day. While they are walking in the hallway, they confront Akari, who sees Shugo and tells Ryuto that it was him who met Runa the other day. He is relieved that at least Runa doesn't have a sugar daddy, but then it registers him that Shugo, the guy whom he shared every secret with, might be one of his girlfriend's exes. Ryuto and Shugo are sitting across the table, and Ryuto is filled with rage. He never wanted to meet Rina's exes, especially not the one who had to be filthy deviant like him. Shugo clears his misunderstanding that Runa is not his girlfriend, but she is a friend of his ex-girlfriend, Nicole. Ryuto's eyes almost pop out of its sockets at that. Runa met him outside of cram school and insisted he take her number. The other day, she called him and got into an intense talk about Nicole and how she wanted him to meet Nicole as a surprise. Shugo also does not consider himself worthy of Nicole, as he dumped her to goof around with other girls when she needed him the most. Ryuto gives his love advice that there must be a way of forgiving past mistakes and moving forward. If he still has feelings for her, then now is the time. Ryuto, who himself has his love life at risk, becomes a love guru for Shugo. Ryuto's friends come running to him, informing him about guys hitting on Runa and Nicole. Ryuto arrives there and takes Runa away, leaving Nicole behind. Now comes the time for the new hero to shine. Shugo appears behind the guys and gives them intimidating glares. He grabs Nicole's hand and brings her out of there. She doesn't know how it has ended like this and starts crying when he embraces her. Ryuto wishes them good luck, and his friends are sad because their co-president of the single community, Nicole, has found someone too. Ijichi decides to step on this road of love, filled with thorns, and confess his feelings to Akari, but he receives a blunt rejection. She says that they don't even know each other yet. So what makes him think that she would accept his confession? Confession is something people do to confirm their feelings for each other, and not one where someone takes a random chance. She knows it hurts to be rejected, and rejecting someone is also hurtful. She leaves after saying all this. Ryuto and his friends sit against the wall on the rooftop. The single ones are talking about how they are failing at the game of youth and label Ryuto a successful one in his love life. He got one whom he liked. It reminds him of Runa's statement about dating. So he runs to school searching for Runa and ends up in a class where she is watching the festival by standing on the terrace. She reveals that she got to meet Shugo once because she had seen him in photos Nicole showed to her. The bag she had was given to her by her grandmother, and thanks to a misunderstanding created by Akari, Shugo got to meet Nicole. The whole commotion has made her realize that life is short and one should be with someone one likes. Runa goes all the way to Ikebukuro to meet Ryuto. He thanks her for doing that for him, and she replies that she's glad to be with him. They discuss Nicole's date with Shugo, and Runa tells him that she's planning to make a move on him today. She then inquires about Ijichi's whereabouts, and Ryuto tells her that his life is a cold blizzard right now. He's channeling his anger of being rejected into playing games like a classic incel, and Nishi is also down these days. Runa sympathizes with them, saying she wishes they could play together again. After a walk, they both part ways and head towards their destinations. Runa looks back at Ryuto with a sad face. The next day, Nicole comes to school looking like a sleepless ghost. She tells her friends that Shugo has rejected her and forbade her to contact him with tears in her eyes. Ryuto discusses this with Shugo later, and he tells him that if they keep dating, things are expected to get heated soon, and they might cross over to the forbidden territory. And as two young souls with healthy libidos, so much time will be wasted. This is why it is better to focus on exams right now. Shifting the conversation, Shugo asks Ryuto how things are going between him and Runa. Ryuto replies that things feel awkward, even if they seem fine on the surface. At the same time, Runa is also having this conversation with Nicole, and she tells her how distant she feels from Ryuto now, to the point that she thinks they might not work anymore. While eating ramen, Ryuto tells Shugo how he's trying to stay away from Maria because of the incident in middle school, and Shugo mocks him for being a loser virgin with no female friends. Ryuto counters that he doesn't care about having female friends because Runa is enough for him. At the same time, Nicole and Runa are shown to be running toward each other. They hug each other, crying over their love lives. Back to Ryuto, he tells Shugo about how he had so many experiences with Runa, and she was the start of everything. Shugo looks at him in surprise and then gives him a smile, saying that he envies him. Meanwhile, Runa tells Nicole that she has made her decision. On the way home, he runs into Maria and suggests never meeting alone again. Maria agrees, saying that she wants Runa to be happy, and for her happiness, she's ready to let him go. She's afraid that Runa might give him up for her, so she'll stay out of their business from now on. As a parting gift, Ryuto tells her that she was his first love, and she thanks him for that. As she departs with tears in her eyes, Ryuto calls his girlfriend because he wants to hear her voice. While on the phone, he hears a scream from Maria nearby. Without ending the call, he runs toward her and sees a creep running away after harassing her. He asks if she's okay, and Runa hears everything on the call. They report the incident to the police, and Maria realizes she has lost her earring. Ryuto tells Runa about it too, and as he's about to explain why he was with Maria in the first place, Runa cuts him off, saying they'll talk about it next Saturday. On Saturday, they sit in front of the prep school, and Runa proposes breaking up before Ryuto has any chance to explain the incident in detail. She says that she wants to be the one to initiate the breakup this one. As she says this, she sees couples and families around being happy. The scene reminds her of her own traditional dream of having a family. Suddenly, she hears Ryuto's sobs and turns to look at him. He is full-on wailing, talking about how he doesn't want to break up with her at any cost. He yells that he only interacted with Maria to tell her to stop seeing him. Seeing him so miserable, Runa tears up too and apologizes, saying that she doesn't know what she's doing. However, one thing she's certain about is that she loves him dearly, to the point that she's afraid of him hating her. She cannot express herself properly because she's scared. To that, Ryuto hugs her and tells her to say anything that comes to her mind. He loves her, so he doesn't care even if she says terrible things. They hold each other tightly for a while before Runa pulls back and cups his face. Just as Ryuto is about to lean in for a kiss, an annoying toddler cock-blocks him, hitting him with a toy car. Ryuto and Runa are better than me because all they do is laugh. I would have done so much worse to the kid. During the golden hour, they stand above a train station and talk while using that weird sports car analogy again. In simple words, Runa promises that she'll keep loving him no matter what happens. They have a dramatic kissing scene in front of the huge sun, and when they pull apart, Ryuto apologizes to Runa because he can no longer cooperate with the Maria friendship plan. Runa says that it's fine because the purpose of that plan was to get close to her as a sister. She points to her earring and tells him that she gave another one to Maria as kids so they can wear them together as adults. She thinks she has lost hers a long time ago, though. Suddenly, Ryuto recalls Maria talking about losing an earring, so he goes to the shrine with Runa, where she lost the earring. They find the earring pretty soon, and Runa thanks him for the nth time today. The next day, Maria's English composition receives an outstanding national award. Runa gets cheers for her while announcing that she's her little sister. Everyone in the class, including the teacher, is shocked at the revelation. After the class, Maria asks Runa why she did that all of a sudden. Runa just brings out the earring and gives it to her, explaining what happened. She then hugs Maria, apologizing for not doing it sooner. All of their friends appear, and they say their corny one-liners while Ryuto smiles at them. He also says cheesy stuff, like his first winter with Runa being warm. With Christmas being just around the corner, Runa and Ryuto are walking through a street. Runa is in an exceptionally good mood, so she decides to do PDA with her boyfriend. She says that she has a dream of doing something on Christmas Eve. When Ryuto hears the word dream, he thinks about his ultimate dream since the start, which is to get a license of manhood. He wants to take full advantage of the holy night. However, his girl has different ideas, and she wants him to help him with some wacky operation called Double Wingman. This operation's purpose is to bring Runa's dad and mom together again. Now that the sisters are getting along, Runa's perfect dream only lacks her dad and mom. So she is planning a surprise dinner for them, hoping they'll reconcile. She also plans to introduce Ryuto to her dad, finally. The next morning, Runa is writing letters for her mom and dad in class when Ijichi enters the class. Everyone's jaws drop to the floor as they witness a transformation from Choji to Shikamaru in real time. Akari especially loses her mind because now he looks like her favorite celebrity, Lee Jun. She's blabbering about how he can look so handsome now, and when Runa suggests asking him out, she refuses instantly because she has already rejected him before. Ijichi is truly a personification of, if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Ryuto's other friend, Nishina, is also making moves on his crush, but he doesn't get anywhere, sadly. Ryuto's dumbass realizes in the middle of a class what it means to meet his girlfriend's dad. He practices meeting him in front of a random Santa statue when Runa appears and takes him to the restaurant. Maria and her mom are already there. Her mom is kind of conflicted after finding out that her dad will be here too, but she cheers up for the sake of her children. However, the unthinkable happens and her dad shows up with another woman. He says he brought her because Runa wanted to introduce her boyfriend, so he thought he would introduce someone new too. The woman is the one who he's planning to marry. Runa's world turns upside down in a moment, and she starts crying. Men really ain't shit because the night full of hopes turns into a nightmare. Ryuto takes her home, and when he's about to leave, Runa stops him, asking him to stay overnight, as her dad has plans with that woman. Ryuto declines immediately, because if he crosses the line while Runa is in this condition, it will be equivalent to taking advantage of her. However, Runa is really in a dramatic phase right now, so she holds on to him and asks if he's also going to abandon her. She pounces on him, making his hand turn off the lights. Runa breathes heavily while leaning against him, inviting him to take her everything tonight. Ryuto gives in too and hugs her tightly. However, her body feels too hot for a turned-on teenager, so he checks her temperature, which reveals that she's down with a fever. He takes her to her room and places a wet towel on her forehead like a good male wife. Runa mutters she likes Ryuto in her sleep, so he holds her hand, feeling a strong urge to protect her always. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nishina hasn't given up after getting rejected once, so he plans to make a move again on his demon Gyaru. Nicole finishes up work, and before Nishina has a chance to approach her, she runs to Shugo's cram school. She finds him in a class, surrounded by books, and goes up to him, announcing that she will wait for him till his exams and leaves right after. Shugo runs after her outside and gives her his scarf, symbolizing their patch-up. Nishina sees all this from behind a tree and sighs. He gets a call from Ijichi informing him that Ken's livestream is about to start. They're both still stuck on playing games. I guess losers will always be losers, but there's even a bigger loser than them, who is Akari. She's now crushing on a guy whom she already rejected once. The next morning, Runa's fever is way better. She gives Ryuto his Christmas gift, which is full of good luck charms. In turn, Ryuto performs the old traditional Christmas gag and shows up as Santa Claus in front of her. Runa laughs at him, saying that her dad used to do the same. He hands her the gift and its moonstone earrings. Matching with her ring, Runa is mesmerized by the gift, which makes her realize how happy her boyfriend makes him. She thinks she'll be able to accept her dad's happiness too, if Ryuto stays by her side. After Ryuto is gone, Runa talks to Nicole on the phone. She shares that she's confused because Ryuto didn't try anything dirty with her last night. How is it possible that a guy spends Christmas night with his girlfriend he totally has hots for, but doesn't do anything? Nicole reasons that it might be because she was sick. She asks if she wants to do it finally, and Runa gets all shy. She reveals that she fantasizes about him a lot these days, and she's ready to do it. Nicole comments that this might be her first love. Runa is happy realizing she can have a first-time experience with Ryuto too, which is falling in love. Runa takes her lover to a print club while wearing his gifted earrings. She changes into a bunny-maid outfit, a wet dream of every pervert okatu. While taking pics, she tells him that she wants to do it with him finally, and smooches his face.